Good morning, everybody. It's Marty, the JavaScript party. I'm a buddy Rhett. It is 8:24. Here's an M&M. It's a yellow M&M, yellow peanut M&M. Now, somebody rated her pe peanut M&Ms yesterday, so she only has two left after today. She had 10 yesterday, and now there's two. So I'm assuming my son probably had a little chocolate fix, but he wasn't the only one here. We have an employee. It's unlikely that she would have done it, and then my daughter-in-law was over here. So, and sometimes she likes to raid that little candy jar. But anyways, at this point, and my older son was here as well. So there were a lot of people. I'm pretty sure it wasn't me or my wife because I mentioned it to my wife. Not that it's a big deal. Um, but anyways, so we've been working on bugs, trying to figure out what's going on with this thing. And I kept saying, man, if I could just shut this down and just work on this like heads down, I could solve a lot of these issues immediately. And sure enough, I just tried it because I didn't know if I was deluding myself or not. But the thing is we have a Viz component service, right? So let me just undo this just so I can, well, let me close others. And then I'm going to undo this. So I have this thing. I'm just going to go here, go to definition, and see it's in italicized, so if you double click it'll stay open. So we have this service that has a Viz component dictionary. It keeps a um, a reference to all the Viz components, and it's a shame we had to do that because I don't like making references to things. But it used to be that the Viz component itself, the reference to it was held on the visualization on the ST visualization. But I changed that to be a Viz component ID, but they didn't even have IDs, so I had to come up with my own library for watching that, and that's what this is. Well, that only gets set. So let's Control Z. So up here where we create a visualization, we add it to the library. So we say, oh, Viz component service set Viz component ID. And so it'll update when we create a visualization. But in the scenario where we already have a visualization, we actually want to delete our old reference and create our new one. And I think that if I remember correctly, so add viz, and then go here, and then come back and add viz. So that is what we figured out yesterday in that marathon 2.5 hour video. But what we never could figure out was when we come back, it wasn't in there. And that's because those references already exist, but they're stale. And so we need to delete them from our library. So that's what this function does. And it literally, I think it would have taken me like an hour and a half, 2 hours verbally going through things like this. And it literally only took me like 5 or 10 minutes to figure it out without that. So we need to delete the old one, and then we need to add the new Viz component back into the dictionary with its new ID. And that's what this one does. So now we hit save. But I do think that like it's very important that you know how to speak to code. And I have gone through entire like frameworks. I was very fortunate that like with Angular JS, I couldn't explain anything. All I could do was do. I couldn't explain anything. And so with Angular TypeScript version, Angular 2 plus, I started going, okay, I want to make sure that I can actually explain things. And so we're going to add the viz. We'll add two of them, and see, we're still good. And that was only because we're adding and deleting the viz from the library. See, the code that redraws stuff, it needs it needs to get the ID from the library, and the library, when it was stale, was referencing an old um, element, an old component, and so we needed to delete the old one. I think delete the old visualization from the dictionary and add a new visualization. So that is good, but then I ran into a new problem. and that is when you resize this, it's not resizing. So we did have that working before where it would redraw based on the new size, and now it's not. So that is the next problem. And again, this is the last commit I'm going to do this in, but I'm not. I wish I could commit right now. Wish I could just write and commit everything so that my next thing, doesn't break this stuff. The problem is that I have so much stuff in here. I don't even know what we're committing, and we have so much garbage code like these comments and these commented out code and console logs that we're just in no condition to commit. But I think I want to try to go through a cycle of fix, 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 or build, build, build new feature. When I feel like I'm done building, do a commit. Say like preliminary code only commit for blah 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 blah. And then fix, fix, fix. I mean, then unit test. And if unit tests can't get done because I need to update more code, then depending on how intense it is, like circling back either to the first again and saying, hey, oh no, I'm going to do, and this is another preliminary, or oh, okay, I was able to get 100% unit test coverage. These are the changes to accomplish that, and these are the new unit tests and stuff. Commit. Then and if I have to go back to fixing, that means you start the cycle from the beginning again. I mean, I just don't know. I don't know of a good way to do this, but what I just did, where I was like, okay, rigidly, only unit tests, only, and then only when all that is done, do a commit. That was a mistake, a terrible, terrible mistake. This is something we do not want, but we're stuck in it. So let's get push through this and then do the next thing. Okay, so I just, yeah, inadvertently figured out yesterday that the resizing isn't working anymore. So I don't know what to do. I think what we should do is get rid of all the console logs and kind of start from scratch. Not scratch, but like get rid of comments that don't make any sense. Um, okay, I don't think this comment helps. So let's go ahead and delete these. Let's get rid of all the console logs so that we can. It's so hard. Once you get enough console logs, you start getting to where that console logs are useless. So let's get rid of all of our console logs and then sort of we need to delete the old. I think we do need these comments, at least at this point. But I guess it would be better if this was lined up. See, it is 8:31. I have plenty of time. I think, yeah, it's 35 degrees, so it's actually almost as cold as it was at this time this morning, yesterday, but for some reason, it didn't get nearly as cold last night through the night. Okay, I don't think we want this anymore. I mean, if we end up messed up, we end up messed up. All right. I think there's only one console log that really even should be in the code base at all. Let's see. Yeah, so this we want. We do not want this. I am new. I am new. You are new. Actually, maybe we want this one. Because I know, well, this is our animation service. Trying to render a deleted. Okay, it looks like that one never comes. I actually do want to keep that one. Um, this is where we set left and top. We probably actually do need that one. I don't know that we need. Well, I guess that's how we got here. I don't know. Okay. So I think we should leave that one alone. Okay, so yeah, yesterday we ended up figuring out that we have like an edge case where if you had a visualization that had a visualization component ID and then it had to happen to have the same component ID again, that it would then appear to be it would appear to be a stale. No, it would appear like it already existed, and then it would create a new one, so there wouldn't be any empty ones. So I added this, and then anytime you change views, it basically goes in and since we know if we change views, we're going to if we the component, whatever the component it has, when you change views, the way it works, it won't be a valid component anymore. So basically, we go through and turn them all to -1. You really need to think carefully when you do that because, like, it could, like, it's just the easiest thing in the world just to go, okay, I'm just going to do this every time this happens, and then not really think through it, and then end up destroying or making code very inefficient. All right, so that's okay. So I think creating the visualization is no longer in question. But I would definitely say this session of code, like this since the last commit, it was a terrible mistake. I made a terrible mistake. I should have definitely. Um, okay, so that I did that just for debugging purposes. Um, and I think that the reason it was a terrible mistake was because of the reason I made that terrible mistake is because of this new thing I'm trying out with always having. Um, okay, so it seems like we actually need this. This is where we set left because we may be getting here, and then this is a whole bunch of manual placement. So that's when the flow is off, and then get rid of this guy. Okay, so basically, let's go to F12. So we got another bug that we're trying to fix that's in the middle of this ocean of commits. And I just keep repeating that mistake over and over again in hopes that I don't make that mistake again. Okay, so we do have a filter on. Let's go ahead and clear this filter. And this is what we have. So let's reload. Let's add one of these. Oop, that didn't add one. Add one of these. Add a second one. Add a third one. Add a fourth one. Okay, so now when we resize, let's see if we get any noise, any chatter in the console. Okay, so we did get a lot of chatter in the console. And I think the one we care about is this is where we set left. So this is our set calculated position. So it's going to try to do this, and then it should go into here. Okay, so basically what we think, what I believe should happen, close that, is that as I resize, these should line up. And we actually have an end-to-end to test that. So this would have, so even though I created this bug as part of this effort, this would have got caught before the end-to-end test would be executed. So am I already in the debugger? What's going on? Okay, so we're here. So let's see if we get in here. So we definitely, so we could test to see this, right? We can just go right into the console, clear this. You don't have to clear it, but see, and then you can execute it and see, okay, so we did get an always, which makes sense because oops, sources. That's why we're in here, and now we're going to go through every visualization and set its left to -1. And these are the ST visualizations. And let's say, and see like the left is 0 on this one, the left is 200. So it should, when we're out of this, they should all end up at 1 again. Now, let's see. The left is 200. Oh, so this is left at 0 and the top at 200. So actually, this is working because it's already correct. It's just, it doesn't end up, redrawing it. So um, like theoretically, we'll end up with like the second one up at 0 and 400 because I made it bigger. So let's just go to here, hit resume. Now, oh, see, they're all -1, which, yeah, that just did. That made them all -1. And now we're saying that it's not a manual placement, right? Wait. Uh-oh. Manual placement. Okay, console log. Manual placement was false. All right, so if it's false, we should go in here, right? Apparently we bounced over the top of that. All right, so let's see. So when we resized, we probably sent about 100 events or something. So that I think some of those events are still being run. So okay, so all their lefts are there. So it's calculating the right left. So there's no problem in here, I don't think. Like the data is correct, is what I'm trying to say. Let's see, we'll get rid of this guy, and see where we end up. So if we change it, oh, wait, it redrew them all. That's wild. Okay, let's do it again. Whenever you see that, it's almost invariably like, oh, you didn't call something to update the screen or something. So, oh no, I think it never, no, it was right the whole time for that view. That's the problem. So if we look at these visualizations, oh, right now they're already -1, and then we don't really have a good way to. So I'm just going to see if I can step out of this thing. Okay, so see our visualizations are right, right? It goes 0, 200, 0, 200. So it wants it, but it's not actually drawing. So I don't think any of the console logs that we have are doing us any good right now. So let's go ahead and get rid of those. Because it looks like we are actually calculating everything properly. We're just not updating it. And then I guess we want to play this thing out. Then I think the whole thing will just reload, and there's nothing to update. Console, and then add, 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 add. It looks like this is where we sit left and top is probably what we care about. So do we even get in here when we resize? No, we do not get in here. Do we get to set position? No, we do not get to set position. It's weird. I thought we saw the console log for it. No, we do not. We don't. Okay, so we're not even getting here. That's weird. I thought we were getting console logs when we resized. Maybe not. Let's get out of there. Add, add, and add. Okay. Let's clear this and drag this. Okay, so whatever we never get to set. So what is I think it was that layout one that we just got rid of. All right, so let's go to the app. Let's drag this over and try to figure out where quest animation, this animation frame handler, setup drawing loop, layout loop. I think it's in here. Yeah, I thought we were getting to this. Ignore. Let's see, F12. Oh, not Control F12. F12. Okay, this is weird. We're not seeing any. Okay, so we are seeing some. Let's see. See it. Okay, so it fixes all of them whenever it does get called out. So I think if it does get to here, it will do it. It's just not getting there. So visualizations layout. Let's see where this gets called from. See if we could figure that out. That is, okay, but there's a space. It looks like I have a space in there. Yeah. Okay, that makes it a lot easier. App component. Okay, that is weird. Okay, so visualization gets called from here. All right, so I think the problem might be that, yeah, I don't know. I think we were trying to separate the calling from the drawing. This should always be drawing. 12 console log. See, like if we clear this and we reload. So my understanding is I feel like this should even be getting called right now. All right, so nothing is happening on resize. Console log. Clear. Yeah, see, we don't get any kind of behavior on resize. And I cannot remember how we got that working to begin with. Request animation frame handler. Layout loose. Layout loop. Okay, let's do this console layout loop. $8:48. Okay, so I have a couple minutes. Loop. F12. Run. I'm expecting. Okay, so request animation frame. I believe was this? Oh, Yeah, so this is actually a DOM thing. And it's supposed to do this request animation frame handler. The request animation frame handler is this function, which is calls this, which is the request. Oh, okay. And then this is where I used to call it over and over again. So let's do this. I may have like a situation where I have one bug that I fix that fixes a different bug, and then that fixing that other bug breaks this bug again. It feels like that might be the situation I'm in right now. Okay, so add, 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 close. Okay, so now it does seem to be working. So that fixed this problem. I suspect we've created another problem. Add this, this, this. I feel like maybe we're there. We might actually be there. And I also feel like it might make sense to run the end-to-end test now um, instead of the unit test because end-to-end tests I think are a little bit more effective for the situation I'm in. So let's do that really quick. I haven't done this. It feels like forever since we've done this, but I think everything's fixed. And I swear to God, that's exactly how it works all the time. Like yesterday, it felt like we were 100 hours away from being done. And then, boom, it looks like we might actually be to the where everything seems to be working. npm, yeah, run. Let me see if I can remember this. Open, no, cypress, open. It's good to remember things to try it. Like I could have easily just looked in the package.json to see what the command was, but it's like really good for your brain to, whenever you can, try to remember exactly what to remember things. Just remembering in general is just good. It's just like working out, just like running or any other kind of working out. Got 4 minutes, probably 3 minutes and change actually. Oh, Cypress. And I can't believe how long this thing has taken to bring up. I know that like my computer just did some updates. I actually got the strangest pop-up where it was like it was trying like there's a power builder or something like that extension added and it can see everything on every page. It can manipulate everything on every page and I was just like, now why would I want this extension installed? That was bizarre. I was like, yeah, I don't see what the upside of this thing was. And to me, whenever there's something that's so obviously screwy, it's like, okay, then I'm like, oh, you know that I know that you know that it puts me into this big sort of like wondering phase if that question, like if there's other things. But I do know I don't want an extension that can just do anything on any web page at any time in Chrome. I just, don't want that. Okay, configured. I think when this thing launches, it takes like the entire external screen. So wish it would hurry. I only have a couple minutes left. Did I just say an electron? All right, home. I'm assuming home probably works. Now I know my unit tests are going to be trashed. And I know that out of this, I think we don't even want any new functionality. We just want the existing functionality to have kept working because I think this was just a huge refactor and the refactor was to move from having references to having IDs to references, which worked fine for everything except for visualization components because I didn't even have a way to create um, IDs for visual components. So, right, looks like that worked. Wait, oh, why it's being a weirdo, but it worked. Don't expect to have broken keyboard, but I haven't put a single thought into keyboard, so it's looking good. Ah, that was the thing that I was afraid of was the resize breaking, and it's looks like it's happy. Guess it's done. Reflow. Now I don't know. We didn't even check reflow. The reflow could be broken. I totally forgot that. Nope. Looks like it's working. Delete. Holy crap! I can't believe this. Oh no, it broke. Something broke. All right, something in delete broke. It doesn't seem like it broke, but it did. So we'll have to. But that seems like more of a test issue. It looked like it did everything it was supposed to do. It just couldn't find something, or maybe something isn't relevant anymore. Never can't tell. Now, this is a new thing for me. Okay, so I have one Cypress test that's broken, but it seems like it's just the test that's broken, not the actual application. Seems like it's doing what it's supposed to do. So expected the app viz to be at a. See, it's like it couldn't find the second app viz. So that's weird. But we had two two of these broken. This guy of 400 and this guy down here. And the same exact issue. Apparently when it got to this guy, it couldn't find it. So I think that it's working, but there's maybe a timing issue or something like that. So yeah, because we deleted one, I think, and like the first thing we do is we go there and then we check that the checkbox is there and then expect that icon to be visible up there and then expect everybody to see this works good. So 3. Oh, maybe it didn't delete it. It looks like it might not have deleted it. So we have 5. I'm going to delete one. It looks good there. Go back to here. Yeah, so it worked for me. So we turn the reflow off. Boom. Delete. Boom. Yeah, see, it's working perfectly as far as I can tell. So I think there's just a problem with the test. So I think it is time tomorrow to run unit tests and see what breaks and figure that all out. And then hopefully that won't take too long. And then if that doesn't take too long, then um, do the Cypress test and then be done. Anyways, I gotta work in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Peace. Happy coding, everybody. Bye.